Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a pharmacy in Minecraft for all of your city building needs. In this tutorial, not only will I show you how to make the entire outside of the build, but I will also show you how to make the entire inside as well. Fun fact, I am hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. Let me know down in the comment section if, where and when you found me. The first person to get it right will have their comment pinned. This is the amount of space required to make the build, a 19 block wide by 17 block long area as represented by this handy grid on the screen. To find the starting position, begin at the front left hand corner of the grid, count to the right, find the fourth block, and then count inwards and find the third block. That is where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing a cyan concrete on the ground, and then 6 smooth quartz block on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 upside down smooth quartz stairs to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place a smooth quartz block on the end and extend down towards the ground, joining to the ground with a cyan concrete. Then return to the top and place 12 upside down stairs extending backwards from this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Place a smooth quartz on the end, extend down to the ground with a cyan concrete joining to the ground. We then want to place a row of upside down stairs extending across the back of the build. We line up with the front of the build, place a smooth quartz block that is parallel to the row opposite us. We then extend down to the ground, place a cyan to join to the ground, and then upside down smooth quartz stairs extending in between the front and the back of the build. Then we can place 2 rows of smooth quartz block directly under our upside down stairs. We can do this for every side of the build. Underneath our 2 rows, we can place a row of regular placed smooth quartz stairs. I don't know why I didn't just say place smooth quartz stairs. I guess it's because earlier I specified upside down, so I guess I wanted to be specific. We're just placing them as you would usually place stairs. The effect is this. On the front of the build, we want to place a row of 2 glass pane extending across to the right. 1, 2. And then a cyan concrete, place a single glass, leave a gap, cyan concrete, 2 glass. We then want to place smooth quartz block on top of the cyan, extending up. We can fill the left and right side of the build in using glass to create windows. And then this is where the entrance is. We simply want to extend the glass up to the top and then place an iron bar in front of the center glass pane. On the right side of the build, we also want some windows. So we will place 2 glass extending towards the back, 1, 2, and then a cyan concrete, 2 more glass, and then we can just place a row of cyan concrete extending right. We can then place smooth quartz block on top of the cyan, extending up, and we can then fill these empty spaces in with glass. And we actually want the exact same thing on the opposite side, so we'll hop over to here now, and we will copy this. What we can also do, on the sets of windows on the sides of the build, we want to place string in front of the upper glass panes with cyan carpet on top of the string. We can then place cyan concrete underneath the windows So we do this on the left and right side of the build, but also on the front of the build, we do just want to add some cyan concrete underneath the glass as well, but we don't want to have the carpet. Although, no, we won't try it because it doesn't make sense. You'll see why later. So on this side of the build, we will add both the concrete and the carpet as well. Now we can turn our attention to the back of the build, where all we have to do is seal up the back with a row of cyan concrete and then a couple of rows of smooth quartz. Along the back of the build, I'm going to place a 2-row high brick wall. This spans the entire width of the grid, like this. Along the back wall, I will place a row of oak leaves. And then I'm going to dig and remove all of the grass from this area, so just in front of the wall, before the windows start. And I will add a row of smooth stone against the wall. And then I want to place a row of 1, 2, 3 cyan terracotta, white concrete, 1, 2, 3 terracotta, and we can extend the concrete and terracotta outwards like this, with yellow carpet at the top, and then 1, 2 polished black stone wall here with a beacon on top of that, and then hopefully we can reach and place a polished black stone slab on top of this. Then we are going to remove all of the remaining grass and the remaining grass and grid from outside of the build. Along this left side, I am first of all just going to place a row of leaves that extends all the way towards the front of the build, leaving a gap of 2 here at the front. And we will stack these leaves 2 rows high. Then we will place a row of podzol in front of the leaves and a row of smooth stone in front of that. And I am going to place some azaleas in the podzol, just because it's my favourite kind of plant, that and ferns I use probably far too often. And then we can occupy the rest of the empty space with smooth stone. Next, we are going to place a cauldron here in this position with an oak trapdoor on top, leave a gap, place 2 spruce stairs, and then spruce trapdoors either side, just like so. And then coming back all the way to the entrance, we will place a row of smooth quartz slab in front of the smooth quartz stairs, the lower half anyway. And then we are going to place red concrete in front of these 2 rows of smooth quartz sandwiched in between the stairs. Next, we will make the sign. We are going to write out the word pharmacy in letters. So throw a red banner in a loom with some white dye. The first letter we must make is P. This is the pale sinister pattern. Put red dye in, apply the perfess inverted pattern, put white dye back in, and then apply fess, pale dexter, and chief. That is P. Next is H. Pale dexter, pale sinister, and then fess. Next is A. This is pale dexter, pale sinister, chief, and then fess. Next is R. This is pale dexter, chief, and then bend. Next is M. This is the inverted chevron. And then put red dye in there and apply the chief indented pattern. Put white dye back in and apply pale dexter and pale sinister. Next would be A, but we can just reuse that one, so instead C. This is the pale dexter, chief, and base pattern. And last but not least, we must make Y, which is the bend, red dye, Perfect inverted pattern, white die back in, and then the bend sinister. And with these banners right here, we can, in order, place P, H, A, R, M, A, C, Y. Pharmacy. Moving inside of the pharmacy, we can now remove all of the grass, and replace it with quartz bricks. Then we can fill the roof of the pharmacy in using smooth quartz. With the entire outside of the pharmacy complete, we can now head inside and work on the interior. Starting here. We want to place a cyan terracotta in this position, with 2 iron bars on top, a black candle on top of that, and then item frames all the way around the iron bars. Then we will place pale oak shelves against this wall, stacked in 2s. And then on the opposite side of this window, we will leave a gap of 1 and then place 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves. And we want to stack these 2 high. We then want to leave a gap of 2, so 1, 2, and then place bookshelves. We want to place a row of 4 bookshelves stacked 2 rows high. And then we will place pale oak shelves along the sides of the bookshelves with cyan carpet on top, like this. We also want to do this over here. We will place 2 rows of 3 bookshelves extending in between these 2 windows, with pale oak shelves on the sides of the bookshelves, and cyan carpet on top, like this. Then, on the opposite side of this window, we will leave a gap of 1 and place 3. 1, 2, 3 cyan concrete, and extend towards the back here, 1, 2, 3. We will leave a gap of 1, and then we will simply place smooth quartz extending all the way up to the top of this wall. We then want to leave a gap of 2 extending right, and then do the same, place another row of smooth quartz extending up. We can then place 3 rows of pale oak bookshelves, extending across this back wall, with bookshelves along the top, then a row of smooth quartz slab across the top of the bookshelves, and then cyan concrete on top of that. Just like so. So, the smooth quartz slab and the cyan concrete we also want to apply to the front of the build as well. So we will simply just place 2 rows of cyan concrete extending down from the ceiling and then add slabs underneath, just like this. Next, we are going to place some hanging lights. So the first one is directly above this swinging stand here. I don't know what to call it. This is meant to be like one of those rotating display stands that has just like things hanging off of it. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then I just don't know how else to describe it. Anyway, we want an iron bar hanging down from the ceiling with a lantern underneath it, and then we want to clad the lantern with warped signs. Then we will leave a gap of 2 extending towards the back of the build, so gap of 1, 2, and then an iron bar. Gap of 2, 1, 2, iron bar. And we will place lanterns underneath these, and then warped signs around the lanterns. Next, we have to add some more shelves behind the counter here. So we're simply just going to place back to back, 2 row high pale oak shelves, so here, and then where we can next place them here, we want to do the same. That's perfect. And then we will stick some red carpet along the outside of the cyan concrete, like this. And then we will place a polished blackstone pressure plate here, polished blackstone stair here, flower pot here, poppy here, brewing stand here, item frame here, lantern here. And then on this wall, I want a bunch of just 1x1 paintings. So if I wasn't being lazy, I would grab 4 different ones, as we have somehow, although symmetrically, managed to create a bunch of copies. Okay, that's fine. And we want them placed like this. And then, on this opposite wall, I am going to stick some paintings above the shelf here. So just like this. So just to make it a bit more colourful, like so. And speaking of colourful, the last thing we have to do is fill all of our shelves and item frames in with something. As this is a pharmacy, my recommendation is potions. We have a massive amount of them. Let me show you what I have in mind. I have just finished stacking all of these shelves and the swirly whirly stand here. I have been a little bit repetitive with my colour scheme. I've mainly just used regular potions with kind of like a rainbow motif, but you know, do feel free to switch it up if you like. The one thing that I did like is across the back here I have used the 3 different kinds of vials, but keeping the same colour scheme, so it's kind of satisfying, to be honest, to look at them. And there's not really too much to it, you know, just stack the shelves how you like and I'm sure you'll be happy. And with that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our pharmacy into our city. I think that the pharmacy undoubtedly belongs in the new modern suburbs. And it also makes sense that it is fairly close to the doctors. I think that a solid spot for the pharmacy, at the very least for now, is going to be all the way over here in this corner next to Toys R Us. It's really getting to the point where we're going to have to expand the new modern suburbs soon. You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Mini-City. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.